When it comes to painting Warhammer miniatures, one of the most important things you can do to make them look finished and ready for the tabletop are the bases. So in this video I'm going to show you 5 different ways to base your miniatures. We'll take a look at the different Citadel texture paints and how to turn them into interesting environments. From urban rubble and snowy tundra to Martian wasteland and even a more dramatic cracked lava base. My name's Michael and welcome to TableTopReady. Today we're finally going to be talking about basing because it's one of the things that's really going to affect how our miniatures end up looking on the tabletop, and we want to make sure that our bases are looking as good as the miniatures standing on them. So you can follow along and base your own miniatures. All the paints and brushes I use will be shown on the screen as I use them, along with links to my favourite hobby tools and equipment you see me using. And if you're enjoying the content here on TableTopReady, make sure to let me know by clicking that like button and leaving me a comment. I love reading them. And when you're ready and have everything you need, we can get started. Before we get into the different styles of basing, let's take a moment to look at how texture paints work and the best way to use them. Texture paints are designed to give your bases real surface texture. They don't just add colour. They create physical texture so the base looks like soil, rock or cracked ground. And there are 2 main types. You have a fine grain texture. These have a sand-like grit and dry to a subtle, realistic ground surface, great for dirt, mud, dust or concrete. And then you have crackle textures. These are much thicker and dry by splitting apart, creating natural cracks and fractures, like dried earth or volcanic rock. I am going to be using Citadel products for this video, but the important thing is the effect, and any equivalent product or texture paste is still going to work. And you should always make sure to use whatever product fits your budget and always use the brands you prefer. To apply them, let's use the Citadel texture spreader, or we can just use the end of our brush or a cocktail stick to move it around and get it into all the areas. Start by scooping a small amount and then spread it across the base and allow the texture to form naturally. Avoid smoothing it too much. Finally, make sure to allow it to dry fully, typically about an hour, and if you've applied a thick layer, giving it longer will always help. Once dry, we're able to start painting it and bringing it to life. For our first base, we're doing the classic earthy look you often see on the box art, done by the studio in heavy metal. To start, before we apply any texture, we can super glue small rocks to the base to make things more interesting. Now we can apply some Agrellan Badlands, making sure we apply enough to allow the surface to break up and form natural cracks as it dries. Once it has dried, we can paint the texture and stones with Mornfang Brown. And as always, we want to thin our paints with an equal amount of water and paint in multiple thin layers for best results. We can now add some depth, helping to bring out the details on the base with some Nuln Oil. Again, make sure to let this fully dry. After that, let's do a dry brush using Baylor Brown to bring out the rough surface of the ground texture, and we can do the same for the rocks using Dawnstone. And when dry brushing, remember to work your paint into the brush first before removing as much as you can on some paper towel first. We then want to move our brush rapidly so the paint is only deposited on the raised texture, and make sure to build this up slowly. Let's now do an overall lighter dry brush using Ushabti Bone to bring everything together. Finally, we can add some grass tufts to really bring the base to life. Don't go crazy, 1 or 2 is enough. The last thing to do for any base is to decide what colour to paint the rim. Here I'm using Steel Legion Drab to continue our earthy tone, and it keeps everything looking neat and tidy. I know these bases don't have miniatures on them, I'm just showing you the process clearly. Normally you'd base after finishing the miniature, and you'd work carefully around the model so you don't get it all over what you've already painted. Now we're moving on to the more urban basing scheme, which works really well for sci-fi settings. Again, let's start by super gluing some small rocks to our base to make things more interesting. Then when you're happy with the placement, we can use Astral Granite, which gives us a more finer grain texture to create a concrete rubble effect. Spread it evenly across the surface and let it fully dry. After that's dried, let's paint everything with Mechanica Standard Grey. Now let's create our definition and bring out the texture with some Nuln Oil. When our wash is fully dried, we can dry brush the ground texture with Dawnstone to bring out that rough surface and paint the rocks with Carrick stone. To bring everything together, finish with a very light dry brush of Ushebti bone across the whole base. And instead of using grass tufts here, we'll create contrast by painting small patches of Doombull brown as rust or stains. This adds warmth to the cold grey tones and gives the base a worn, industrial feel. Finally, paint the rim with Storm Vermin fur for a cleaner, urban finish that ties in nicely with the concrete look. Now we're creating a snowy base, perfect for winter battlefields. We won't be adding any small rocks this time, so go straight to spreading astrogranite or any other texture of your choice, but grey works great as a natural backdrop to the white snow. Then once that's dried, paint the ground using Mechanica Standard Grey. And again, we're going to use Nuln Oil to create our definition. And when that's done, we can give it a dry brush using Dawnstone to highlight our texture. Now we can apply Valhallan Blizzard, use it in small patches and build it up in natural clumps. Snow looks more convincing when it settles unevenly, so avoid smoothing it flat. After the snow is dried, you can, if you like, add a light dry brush of White Scar. This gives a colder, frostier finish and helps the snow catch the light. To add contrast and bring some life to what would be otherwise a very monotone surface, place 1 or 2 grass tufts around the base. These small touches add colour and visual interest without overpowering the snow effect. Finally, paint the rim Abaddon black to give a clean, sharp finish that frames the bright snow nicely. Doing the bases is often seen as an afterthought, but it really shouldn't be. It's a stage that really grounds our miniatures in a world and giving it somewhere to be, as well as a sense of narrative. Now we're going to create our Martian style base. This gives us a harsher, ancient and more otherworldly theme for our miniature. Start by applying Martian iron crust generously across the base, and a thicker layer works best here as it will naturally crack and break as it dries. After about an hour of drying, this should be ready to paint. Cover the texture with Doombull brown to give us a rich foundation colour to build on. Now we'll bring out the texture by applying Agrax Earthshade. This will settle into cracks and recesses, helping them to stand out and add in depth. Once that's dry, we can do a light dry brush of Wild Rider Red over the raised areas to really bring that warm Martian tone through. Finally, paint the rim Abaddon black for a clean finish that contrasts nicely with the bright Martian colour. For our final base, we're creating a dramatic cracked lava effect, where a warm glow shines through the cracks in the dried volcanic surface. Let's first use Corn Red and build up through Evil Suns, Trollslayer Orange and then something like Uriel Yellow. Just have fun with this step, it doesn't need to be perfect, and we can create variation across the base building up to the yellow in different areas where the lava would be hottest. For this one, I do recommend doing the base before attaching a miniature, because it just makes the whole process a lot easier, and it helps us avoid getting any texture or paint on a miniature whilst we're working. Once you're happy with how your lava effect is looking, we can get ready for our texture, first applying a layer of hard coat, which is a varnish. I like to thin this down with an equal amount of water to stop it going on too thick. This varnish not only helps to protect what we've just painted, but also helps encourage the cracking effect once we apply the texture paint over the top. When you're ready, we use a Mordant Earth, and just like with any crackle effect paint, we want a generous thick layer, which will give us those more dramatic defined cracks once it's dried. And once everything is fully dried and the cracks have formed, we can bring out the charred texture on top with a light dry brush of Dawnstone, just catching the edges of the cracked surface. This gives it that cooled ash look without overpowering the glow underneath. Let's finish our lava themed base painting the rim with Eshin Grey for a clean volcanic rock look that frames the glow nicely. I've really enjoyed exploring different ways to base our miniatures, giving them even more personality and narrative, helping to bring them to life. And hopefully I've also been able to give you a few ideas to try on your own miniatures, so let's see how they turned out. But before we see the finished bases, I want to say a massive thank you to all the amazing people who've made this tutorial possible with their continued support. It really means a lot. Your generosity allows me to get all the paints, brushes and miniatures I need to make these tutorials, so I can continue to help you get better at painting. And I especially want to thank D.Y. Lee, Jerome Homan, Daniel Thelonious, Leon Montgomery, St. George, Tony Carbs, and Igor Zagorogny, who have recently become supporters or have donated to the channel. Thank you so much. If you enjoy the content here on TableTopReady and feel you get value from it, you can also help support the channel by becoming a channel member or joining my Patreon. You'll get access to our Discord, regular updates and early access to videos and tutorials. So here are the final bases, each one given a different environment and atmosphere to miniatures. Hopefully this has given you the confidence to try these ideas for yourself and experiment with your own basing. There are lots more tutorials on the channel, whether you're looking to improve your painting or you're brand new and learning the basics. Have a look around, there's plenty to explore. I really do love making these tutorials and I hope you enjoy watching them. If you do, remember to leave a like and let me know in the comments. I really appreciate hearing from you. Make sure to subscribe for future content and I'll see you in the next video.